Well, I mean, this head's moving along a lot faster than the first one did. But I'm not sure if we're going to make our deadline. This head is actually almost done. Surprisingly, all this stuff went a lot faster the second time around. So you can see all in here, right? Check that out. Pretty nice, actually. Exhaust, that's all done. Did the bowl work, right? So basically coming in here, which side is it? It's one of these sides. I can't tell anymore. I think it was this side that had this huge hump there that we took out, smoothed out, right? Kind of opened up this cross section here a little bit more, right? Smoothed the valve guides, took the valve guides basically out on the exhaust side. Same thing we did with the other head, and we've already started our chamber work, right? Which I could have got this done today, really. I just, didn't. Even touched the valve guide, not valve guide, the push rod hole, intrusion there. I even touched that up just a little bit. Again, I didn't take it all the way because, I mean, you look, it doesn't really look like there's a whole lot of meat there, but I could be wrong. But that's as far as we're going to go with it anyway. So that's basically what we got in a nutshell with this thing. Now, getting the porting done on both heads and whatnot, on my end of things, I'm not concerned about. Right? I mean, like I said, I could have got this head done today. Both heads would be fully ported, as far as porting as we're going to do with them, and ready for the machine shop. The machine shop is where things are getting a little hairy, right? In terms of getting this whole thing done before No Name, and even just trying to get them on the motor that's already in the car before No Name. It's it's becoming a bit of a struggle at this point. Now, as far as the machine shop end of things, well, just getting a hold of them has been kind of a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. I've called them like 4 times already, and each time either the machinist guy's not there to give me a quote on anything, or they're not open, or it's we small town here. We only have about 2, maybe 2.5 options of machining places that would do cylinder heads, and my luck is striking out on them at this point. And I don't actually know how much this valve job stuff's going to be because I haven't been able to get a quote on them. They might even need just doing the valve job itself might be outside my budget. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that'd be the case. I thought fucking maybe $230, $250. Touch up the valve or touch up the seats. In and out. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm starting to think that they're going to want a lot more than that. Especially since on the other head, just today, I noticed I completely forgot all about it because I took this engine apart like 3 years ago now at this point. Is there one here? No, it doesn't look like it. There's an intake bolt snapped off inside the head on the other head. On the other head. So that's gonna be fantastic too now. Trying to extract that son of a bitch. It's broken out to the point you can't get anything on it either, and it's rusted in there. You're gonna have to drill it out and retap it, I think. Yeah, so there we got that going on too now. All in all, what I'm saying here is, let's not get our hopes up too high that these E7 porting head project actually gonna work out the way we were hoping. That's the fun part about being on a deadline. Yeah, it creeps up on you. Well, being on a deadline, being on a budget too, because if money was no option, be able to go get this stuff done in no time. But since money is an option, it is well, yeah, something we don't have plenty of by any stretch of the imagination. Especially since I was on vacation not too long ago, and I'm going on vacation again, and you don't get paid when you're on vacation, so hmm, good, good. But one option that I've been looking into, I don't really know much about it, but just Google searching, right? I mean, they have these valve seat cutter things that you can buy. I imagine you just chuck it up in the old drill, right? It has like essentially a valve stem ish that goes down through the valve guide to guide it where it needs to cut. I think those are fairly cheap on the eBay one. That could be an option if those work out the way they're supposed to. I might be able to cut my own valve seats if it's too big of a labor task for the machine shop there to get it done, and with a reasonable budget. So that's another option. Anybody ever use one of those? Let me know. Let me know. Tell me how it worked. Tell me if it worked good for you. Be very interested in knowing. Okay, what else? Things that will get done before No Name for sure, right? So we got the fuel cooler thing that we're gonna build. Uh, the one in the car is mostly just to make the video, but it's not the final product. In case some of you were thinking that's the final product. No, that was quick and dirty just to make a video on it, right? That's it's not polished or anything. So we got that. We got to make the fuel cooler with that. We got to do the fuel lines. We're going to have to replace the rubber lines to run at No Name, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. What else? We're going to mess with the rear end tires, because that's going to be something for old L&A Auto Works there to try to get a little more speed out of the car. We're going to mess with the tires. We got to mess with the distributor to figure out our timing. We're not running nitrous, so we don't have to worry about that, but we do need to get the timing sorted so that it actually performs. And we need to do some with the carburetor, because I haven't been doing much with the carburetor like I wanted to. Mainly that project kind of got done. I stuck it on the car. I got it, good enough. Tweaked it with it for a while, but once it was good enough, I just I'll just drive the car like this, right? That carburetor needs a lot of tuning. Like, remember now, in case you don't know, in case you weren't there for it, we made that carburetor out of just parts of different carburetors. So we got it all together, we got it to work, but we haven't massaged them all together yet. Like, honestly, I gotta take the carburetor off. I gotta take those metering blocks, and I have to actually drill the fuel passages in them. Passages. Where the holes the fuel goes through, right? You gotta drill those out, and I got these adjustable ones that basically they're just jets. So I gotta put that in there so I can actually tune that. Because right now there's a spot in there that's just not the power valve. Those metering blocks came from the 700 Holly. Well, now it's a bigger carburetor, and the fuel passages for the power valve are not sized for the amount of CFM the carburetor is. So there's like a dead spot in there that you can't really tune out with without detrimenting the performance of just the street drivability with it, right? Wide open throttle, you can probably tune it out, but actually like cruising, you know, speed and whatnot, you want smaller jets and you want the power valve to supplement the fuel when you actually punch it. Otherwise, you're just running huge jets in the primaries to, you know, band-aid that, you know, mid-range, and then your fuel economy suffers down low, running, you know, richer at part throttle. Any hoozle, the carburetor needs a lot of tuning yet, which I haven't been able to do any of because I've been too busy doing all the other stuff, and so we gotta figure that out too. Hopefully, I do have one thing at another machine shop in the works, and it would be cool if we got that project in time for No Name, you know, a part of the XMC project. Be kind of cool to have that prototype on the car at No Name to really test it out. But I don't know about that yet. We'll have to see what happens. It'd be very cool though. You know, let's put things back in perspective, right? Although No Name Nationals is going to be a big event for the channel, right? And, you know, we're hyping it up and trying to build an enthusiasm, and we're going and this and that, right? Whatever else. The channel's still going to be here after No Name, so things like this, really, in the long term, that doesn't really matter all too much, because eventually we'll get it done, right? Or we'll, you know, do something else with it, right? If we don't, you know, actually choose to finish it, put it on engine. If it becomes monetarily desirable to do so. But, you know, this deadline is just a deadline for this one event. You know, the channel's still going to be here, you know, doing our thing. Doesn't, you know, all this other stuff will get done. It's just whether or not it gets done before this, you know, event or not, right? So, I'm gonna, well, yeah, I guess I'll start working on the chambers on this a little bit, try to get this done, call the machine shop again tomorrow, see if they pick up, see if somebody's there, and really map out the rest of what we got to do before No Name. I'll be doing that, and I'll catch you next time. And, you know, I tell you what, realistically, if this does end up being, you know, the machine shop wants like $600 to do a fucking valve job or something ridiculous like that, what we can do is just have them do one, you know, just one here, 2 valves. That can't be that much. I mean, surely, come on now. Get 2 valves done, and then we can actually flow test it. That way we'll know exactly what we actually accomplished by doing all of this, right? All of that, and, you know, that. So, not all would be lost. We would just, rather than building it on the actual engine, we'd be able to flow test to see if what we did actually accomplished anything on a flow bench. So, good data still there, and eventually maybe we'll just pluck our way and have it, you know, fully done. Although, you gotta remember, we still got the AFR heads, too, in the works, so, yep. Okay, that's it for now. We'll catch you next time.